Sweet. Let me get a. You know what? I don't know whether to go outside or not.
Yeah,
No,
cool.
it's quite. How are you, no brother? You all right?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah. No,
That's good.
mate. It's a weird one, bro. Because I live at home with my parents, innit? And
Yeah.
it's the first time in my entire life where it's just me in the house. It's weird.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They've gone to Spain for 2 weeks, so yeah, I can't complain, mate. To be honest.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. What about you, mate? What are you saying? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in.
No, thanks
So
for
yeah,
having me, brother. Thanks for having me.
so yeah, how are you? How's life? How's everything going on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
mate. Well, to be with life, yeah. To be honest, bro, it's a bit of a weird one at the moment because I had a job. I sort of left that job and I've gone back to freelancing. So
okay.
I enjoy it, but my schedule's never the same. Like one day I might be starting at 2 p.m. in the evening, and the next day I might be starting at 7 a.m. And it's like I'm trying to get more consistency in my life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
do you still like the freelancing life that you have, or like?
mate, yeah, no, do you know what? Yeah, the actual work itself, I can't lie to you, mate. I actually love it. In fact, I found a nice little seat outside. Yeah, no, the actual freelancing part, mate. I can't lie to you. I actually really enjoy it, and it's something I'm good at because I've been doing it for so long now. I do
Mhm.
more like Well, I try to do more managerial type roles as opposed to like just your normal staff.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There we go. That's better. I'm outside now.
Yeah, it's
That
nice weather.
Well, yeah, I know. Shockingly for England, it's all right. Can I switch the camera in this or not? Because I'm not very.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not the most tech savvy, bro. Is this on an app or?
It's yeah, it's on a like website. It's like
Hang on,
StreamYard, sort
hang
of
on.
like
I just. It's actually
browser.
for England, bro. This is actually lovely. It's September as well, mate. What's going on?
Oh,
It's lovely. But yeah, no, I'm not
yeah,
complaining, mate. Not complaining.
yeah. So yeah, how did you come up with a name like Mr. Inbound? Like, is it your
Yeah.
name? It's just a pretty
So,
cool
so
name.
no, thank you, mate. Do you know what? When I tell you this story, yeah, you'll be like, this geezer's lying. Like, but honestly, literally everything that happens is legit true. So I went to university, and I'm not gonna lie to you, mate. The second year, I was just being a bit of an idiot. I was going out, I was drinking, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, and I weren't really taking it that seriously. But if I'll be honest with you, that's probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life because it gave me the kick up the backside to like, oh, come on,
Yeah,
sort yourself out. Like, you failed second year at uni. Like, what are you doing? So I had to go back and do another year, which resulted in so in the last half of the second year, you're at the uni, and the second half you're away from uni doing placement. Now, for that first half, that first semester, obviously the majority of all my friends and people that I sort of knew at the uni had already left.
yeah.
So there was a festival going on like about 40 minutes from where I was, and I was like, do you know what? Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and meet people and have a laugh. So I get down there. I'm literally by myself, by the way. I get down there, and the first guy I speak to was this guy called Perry. And I was like, oh, where are you boys from? And he's like, oh, we live in Eastbourne. And I was like, oh, I just moved down to Eastbourne last week. I was like, whereabouts in Eastbourne are you from? He's like, oh, Meads. I was like, bro, I live in Meads as well. I was like, whereabouts in Meads? He's like, oh, Mead Street. I was like, mate, this is getting weird, bro. I live on Mead Street as well. I was like, what door number are you? He said, 13. I went, fuck off. He went, what? I'm number 12. And
Uh,
I know, mate. And in that group of friends was this guy called Matt. And Matt got me into like the festivals and events and going out, raving and stuff like that. And at the time, I wanted to start my own music event. So I thought, well, Matt got me in. Matt's name was Matt Bounds. I met Matt at Boundary Festival. So I called my event Inbound. after him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, that's pretty
yeah.
cool. So like you
So,
pretty like
so
yeah, referring to him.
yeah. I combined the two into one, and it was inbound. And then, literally on our first event, one girl went, "Who are you?" And I just went, "Oh, I'm Mr. Inbound," like just as a joke. And then I was like, "Do you know what? I actually quite like that name. I'm going to stick with it."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool. Like
yeah,
whenever I like when he had a chat, it's like call me Mr. Inbound. I'm like, oh shit,
yeah.
that's sound
What?
sound like James Bond shit.
I try, bro. I try. I'm gonna put my sunglasses because it's a bit sunny out here, and I've got blue eyes. So
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So
yeah.
like, were you into like music before you became a host or something? You know, like you have deeper interest, or like you used to play some instrument, or you just want to like host it.
No. So, musical talent wise, I can't. I'll be honest with you. I am fucking useless. Like, I remember in year 9. So that's like ninth grade, I think, for you lot. We was doing music, and my teacher was like, "Yeah, you're a really nice lad. I really like you, but you probably shouldn't do GCSE music." I was like, "Don't worry, sir. I've got no intention of doing any GCSE music. I've got no talent. I can't even sing.
Yeah.
I can dance, but I can't sing or play any instruments. But I love listening to music. I've got a good ear for music, so that's more what I would actually rather be into in the music. Like, instead of actually being the technical like DJ or instrument, I'd rather just be there, networking, hosting, make sure people are having a good time. And also, I think I don't know if you have seen, but at my last few events, I had the microphone and I was going around interviewing
Yeah, yeah, I
people.
saw that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was a laugh, mate. That's what I want to do full time. But at the minute, bro, I'm just trying to get ahead of myself, like money wise, so then I can take X amount of time out, focus on my content, and then go from there. Really.
Okay, yeah. So I saw like you were like interviewing some people and like I also like you have some character in there. You're just not
Yeah.
a guy with a microphone. You have some
Yeah. Oh,
good character
stop
in there.
it! Stop it! You're making me
Oh, really?
blush.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, mate, do you know what? I really appreciate that. Thank you. And do you know what's funny? Yeah. So the first time I ever done it, I had nothing prepped. I literally turned up with a microphone. I was like, okay, cool. Let's just talk to these people. And don't get me wrong, I had some very interesting conversations and some very good clips and stuff like that. I think one of them I put on my other TikTok page. I got like 20,000 views talking about mental health. So I was like, oh, do you know what? Like, that's actually done fairly well. But next time, I just need a couple questions to fall back on, just because obviously you haven't seen it in the edits. There would be like 10-15 seconds of maybe like not an awkward silence, but not relevant to what we was talking about, and me trying to think of another question. So yeah, no, I do enjoy it, bro. I do enjoy. I want to get out there and do more, but I've just got to try and get ahead of myself money wise first, and then I can take some time out.
So how do you get into like the hosting things? You know, like when you're young, and you
Yeah,
are
yeah,
interested in music and you want to host events, but you don't know how to like do it,
mm,
do the stuff.
yeah,
If you know what I
yeah,
mean. So how do you
yeah,
like get it mentally and like make the whole journey
yeah.
from
Well,
being a college kid
yeah,
to like
yeah.
a event hoster? Yeah. I'm sorry I cut you there.
Yeah, no, that's fine, man. I'm here to listen and to talk as well. So talk away, bro. To be honest with you, it just sort of happened like when I was literally out with my friends with that guy Matt, and I was like, I could do this. I could do this a lot better as well. I was like, why don't I do my own event? And from there, I started the Instagram page up, everything. I went, even if I don't know exactly what I'm doing straight away, if I just start, I'm going to get better. So my advice out there to anyone that's looking, not even just events, if they want to start a sport, a new business, going to the gym, anything, I'd say just get the ball rolling first, and then you'll get better. Because you're not going to be. I'm still not an expert at it myself. Like, I'm actually on a break now from the events because a few reasons. One, they're just so expensive to run. Two, it's like, unless you have a big name DJ, that's going to cost you thousands. Not many people want to come and see these up and coming DJs as much. And three, it's a very toxic work environment. Like, I've met a lot of people in this industry that are absolutely fantastic, lovely people, and I still chat to them like most days. But then you meet, I suppose it's like any industry, really. You meet people there, and you think you're a bit of a dick. Like, I'm not really want to associate myself with you, sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I'd say just go out and just get the ball rolling, because your first one, no matter what it is, like gym session, I don't know, learning a new skill, the first one's always going to be shit, or just
yeah,
not as high a standard as you would like. But then you get better and better and better and better.
yeah, true that. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So yeah,
Yeah,
the first step is always the hardest, you know. And like
yeah,
if you're
100%.
gonna go the next step, and it's gonna like the first step is not gonna be that
Mm,
hard.
mm,
So
mm,
so like when you're starting out, like you, of course you need some capital as well, right? To to host this event. So how do you
mm,
like manage it and
mm.
yeah.
So what I actually did, so I started it off, and then one of my friends from school was like, "Oh, do you mind if I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, mate, that's fine. Like, I'll take all the help I can get, because if I can bring X amount of people, then you can bring X amount of people, and then we can share the workload with the social media posts and finding DJs and doing posters and just messaging people and stuff like that." So that's one of the two that jumped on. And then when we started, a friend of a friend, his name's Jamie January, he messaged us, and he actually come up with the idea of doing a live stream every Saturday, because at the time when I started it, mate, it was literally COVID had just happened. Everyone was in their house, like obviously events weren't happening. So in a way, it was a blessing in disguise, because it gave us two opportunities. One, to get more content out there and build out the brand before we'd even done an event. Two, identifying, okay, what DJs did we, one, generally enjoy the most? And two, which of them actually brought the most people onto the stream and is more likely to sell tickets? Because, mate, our first event was, oh, it was amazing. We done a boat party on the Thames, and it was literally the week we came out of lockdown. The weekend we came out of lockdown, mate, it was like 360 people on our first party, mate. I was thinking, this is easy. This is easy. We're getting 360 people straight away. But the more you do it, the more you think, okay, that was just like a very special occasion. Everyone wanting to go out. It's getting them people to come back to the event, which is the hardest part.
So um so like how do you what are the like how do you select your artist for like when you have to
Yeah,
select an artist for the party, you know,
yeah.
for the events, like how do you select and what factors do you have like when you're booking the talent?
Well, the first one would obviously be, do they play the genre of music, or at least a genre of music that I would want in my event? So our event was, I called it feel good music. So it's anything that makes you feel good. So it could be disco, it could be house, tech house, maybe even a bit of garage, like maybe a little bit of hip hop here and there. It just depends on how the vibe of the evening's going. Now, if I've got a DJ that only DJs hard techno and drum and bass, I'm not going to take them on, because it's not appropriate to what we're trying to advertise for our parties. So that's the first one. The second one is, do I actually like this person? Like, do I actually generally get on with this person outside of a DJ perspective? Now, fortunately, all of the DJs on our first event, we had met beforehand, and we clicked with them, we gelled, we done some studio sessions. So I don't want to work with someone that's going to be, one, a bit of a knob to work with and I don't actually get on with. And two, are they going to be reliable? Are they going to bring people? Are they going to cause me no stress, no drama, no ag? Like, it's just, all I would say is just get out there, network with these people that do the events. Maybe go to one of their events, buy a ticket, show that you're actually interested in the event itself. And then just, yeah, it's all about how likable you are, to be honest, and how much of a crowd you can bring. That's what I would say.
So what's your special magic or special ingredient to make an event like memorable, like or at least like very crazy, hitting the rooftop sort of
Yeah,
experience for you?
yeah. So I'm going to go back to the boat party, because the boat party was just not many people at that time were doing boat parties on the Thames, especially the boat that we was doing. So we had a look at all the other boats possible. And I'm not going to lie, the boat that we picked, I personally and the two colleagues that helped me run the event also agreed that this was the best boat, because one, it holds the most people, and two, the layout itself was actually just, oh, it was top tier. It was really, really, there was 3 floors, mate. Three
Huh.
floors on a boat on the Thames in the middle of like July. It was, oh yeah, it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so like suppose if a university student is like interested in hosting events
Yeah,
like you and wants to become someone like you or like at least be on the path that you are, so
yeah,
what would you advise him? Because he may not have much money or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
or does he really need a like a enriched capital, or like does he need what are the things that he needs to do there if he's from yeah.
Yeah, so that can be kind of a subjective question, because it depends where they go to university. Now, if they go to universities like Newcastle, Liverpool, Leeds, maybe even somewhere in London, that's where all like your big nights are. That's where all like the student nights are. Now, if I was an up and coming DJ and I wanted to do my event and I was at uni, I would do one of two things. I would do one, become a rep for the student nights so that the owner of the actual event knows that you're interested in helping them sell tickets for the actual event. So firstly, I would start with that and just get your foot in the door. Even if you're just bringing your mates that were going to go to the event anyways, it just looks better for your networking skills. So yeah, firstly, I would say is get involved in any of them rep ticket scheme type things. Build yourself up a good reputation as someone that's able to sell tickets, and then mention, oh yeah, I actually DJ and I could sell even more tickets if you was to put me in the lineup. Now, a lot of them might not even pay you for the first one just to see how you are. But even if you have to do a couple of free gigs just to get your foot in the door with these people, then that's understandable.
No.
And I would also recommend for them to produce as well, because if you've got a DJ that can also produce as well, you've just got a double threat there, as opposed to someone that can just DJ.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's understood.
yeah,
So like yeah, well, how's the like you know the whole like social media and AI changed the way you host or way you market the platforms?
yeah.
And are there any challenges that they like put on forward
Mhm.
with the emergence of these things?
Yeah, no, 100%. So I'd say about a year or so ago, I was speaking to one of my friends. He owns a very successful, like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, like all doing the same under the same brand. And I literally sent him my profile, my inbound profile, and I got him to analyze it and break it down for me. And one thing he did say was that, one, I wasn't posting enough. So I'd say consistency with posts is very key. And two, for me personally, he said, look, there's loads of music events out there, but they've got no personality. They've got no one as like a face, if that makes sense. So he goes, what you're actually selling is you. You're the brand. You're the face of the image. You're selling yourself. So he said, if you go out and get content not related to your music event and you build up X amount of followers, these followers are going to want to come to your event just so they can meet you. So yeah, I would say just try and be a bit unique with your approach and consistency as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what exactly. So
Yeah.
you have your identity, your brand by itself. Like when you call
Yeah.
like when you want to change your name of the music event, it's like
Mm.
you are the brand,
Mm.
you're the face of the brand,
Yeah.
right? So the name
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't matter that much. So
Yeah.
um uh how do you build, this one is a bit deeper one, like how do you build the
Yeah. Go on.
character inside, you know, like
Yeah.
you have a character by itself, so how do you
Yeah.
like someone who's like doesn't have like much of a character, how do you like really push it up
Yeah.
and become some sort of unique blend?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that someone doesn't have any character because everyone's character is different. Like
Yeah,
my character and your character is two very different people.
different.
So the way I would market myself and the way you or someone else would market themselves is very different. Now, my event personally, because it's like feel good music and we want everyone to feel equal and involved in the event and everyone's welcome, I sort of went down the road of, okay, a few serious questions about stuff like mental health and things like that, things that I actually think are very important, some deep questioning, and then also just some funny questioning, just to show that we don't take ourselves too serious. That you can come to the event, you can have a laugh, but if you do also want to have a serious conversation with someone, then yeah, you're legit able to. So I think it's just about getting your brand, identifying, okay, what sort of image, what sort of character do we want to portray? Do we want to be like funny, serious? Do we want to be intellectual? Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? So I think first you have to sit down and analyze what exactly it is you're looking from your brand, and then just taking the necessary steps and just getting yourself out there, mate, and making yourself more consistent. I know at the moment I'm preaching about consistency and getting yourself out there, but I haven't actually done that myself. I'm on a little break just to
Yeah,
mentally refresh myself, but I'm hoping over the next few months I've got a few bits and bobs planned in and I can start getting my face out there a lot more.
okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
very nice. So like when in a like an event, like is there any moments like, you know, your event goes a little bit of a drop in energy, and like you like what are the strategies that you use like to keep them engaged, or does that ever
Yeah.
happen to you, or like even
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've had it before where DJs maybe, so when you play the first set, you don't want to play all the bangers in the first set and you don't want to have the BPM too high because you want people to like come in and sort of have a little boot because people like they haven't taken whatever they're taking yet, they haven't drunk enough yet, so they're not as loose as other people, which does play a factor into the sort of music that you're playing. So I now have a number of DJs that I know can do the first set, and I know they know exactly what I want from that. And then other than that, bro, it's just making sure that the DJs are energetic, engaging with the crowd, and just I leave the music to the DJ. To be honest, say, look, you're the DJ. I want you to take me on this journey of this type of sound that you're playing. And normally, 9 times out of 10, I would have seen slash heard the DJ play before, so I know exactly what I'm getting.
No,
Yeah,
so yeah, leave it to them, as you know,
yeah,
make
yeah,
feel of the flow, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like how did you first come to know, let's talk about Andrew Tate because that's where I
yeah,
came to know you from.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like how did you first come to know about Andrew Tate, and like what was your first impression of him? So
Well, I remember because I was in Spain for a little bit, and I wasn't really on my like phone or social media on too much at the time. And I came home, and I hear everyone talking about Andrew Tate. I was like, who the fuck is Andrew Tate? Like, who is this guy that everyone keeps talking about? And like, this is when he was like at like the powers of his height. So I was like, okay, let me do a little research into this fella and see what I think. And to be honest, like straight away, I was like, okay, this guy talks a lot of sense. Talks a lot of sense. He's also talking a lot of stuff that I don't agree with, but he's also preaching a lot of truth. Now, personally, I understood straight away he was playing this character of top G, sort of like the alpha male, 4-time kickboxing world champion, tall, rich, good looking, gets loads of girls, has the cars. Like, I understand exactly where he's coming. Like, that's the character he's playing. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously, he has all these things as well. And like myself, I play up to the camera a little bit, but who doesn't? Like, do you think KSI is always absolutely off his rocker and just shouting
Yeah.
and screaming and nuts? And like, do you think all these other high-end YouTubers are always like that? No, I highly doubt it. They're playing a character at the end of the day. So that's how I come to know Andrew Tate, literally just by everyone recommending him. And yeah, no, I like what he says, but then I also disagree with a lot of what he says as well.
Yeah, so like my first, I exactly remember when I first saw Andrew Tate. I was just scrolling, like it was winter's time, so I was just scrolling on my while I was like, his video suddenly popped up. He was speaking some sensible thing. I don't quite remember. It's like don't give up and something like that. So and one of my roommates, he was saying like, "Oh, you've watched Andrew Tate?" I'm like, "Who is this guy?" I'm like, "Oh, it's some sort of kickboxer." And I was into martial arts, so I was like, "Let me see this guy." Because I always love to bring martial arts on my podcast, and he was like, he was just not a martial artist. He was just like kickboxing champion, everything. He was like at that time he was like someone big. Same thing. It was the same thing. So I was like, oh, cool. This guy talks a lot. I was saying too. It's like it's quite realistic from whatever he talks. So yeah. That's what I like really knew him, and then I kept watching him, and then I saw you as well when he was joking about the chair and everything. So like, so what did you like? How did you come to know about the chair, and like what was it thinking in your mind? Like I think you flew all the way from New Zealand or England.
No, England.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my, this guy is something else, man. Flew all the way from England to Romania just to give a chair. I'm like, so what's going on there?
So obviously at the time, this is when I just sort of first started my content creation, and this is when I was being quite consistent. Now, obviously at the time, I was like an Andrew Tate fan, and I saw this video, and I was like, well, I want to get my face out there. Who's the most famous man, arguably, in the world right now, or the most relevant? It was Andrew Tate. So I thought, well, if I fly out there and get him this chair, two things are going to happen. One, I'm going to get my face out there and people are going to see me, which, to be honest, yes, they did. Did I do really well from the video views and followers? Not particularly, no. Like, a lot of people just see me. It hasn't really done too much for me, but that's the first reason I've done it, just to get my face out there. And the second reason is I'm working to get to myself to a level where I can associate myself with people on this level. Like right now, if I was to go see Andrew Tate and have a chat with him, he wouldn't want to chat to me because I'm not at that echelon, at that level of life where I can provide any value for him. I understand I need to provide some sort of value. Now, why did I do it? I've given him this chair. Once I get to that level, I've already got that relationship built right there. It might be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, who knows? But when that time comes, I've already got that relationship with Andrew. So that's the main reason I've done it. I might not have said that in my video, but to be honest, I think this is the first time I've actually said this out loud to anyone online. So yeah, that's why I done it, just to build a future relationship. And also I went to go see Romania. Well, I know it was a really nice country, to be fair.
So what was so different about Romania and England? I know they keep saying like, UK, it's Romania is better, it's something like that. But what difference do you feel like?
Yeah, well, the first one, Andrew actually said this himself. He said he was in a taxi or in a car once, and it was like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and a Romanian girl was just walking the streets by herself. And he said to the cabbie, he's like, "Oh, you sure she's going to be okay? Like, it's really early in the morning." And he said to him, "Well, why would they attack her? Why would they rape her? She's a Romanian girl. We don't do that to other Romanians." And if that was the UK and there was a girl or just anyone out at 2, 3 a.m. in the middle of London, if they've got a nice watch or they're just a female in general, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, to be honest. So the number one thing I would say is the safety, just the safety of the people. They're all very religious as well. I think it's like 99% Christian in Romania. So they've all got that, their moral and religious ethics. Not saying that religious people can't be horrible and bad people, but normally they're God fearing. So they're not going to do anything that will condemn them with God or make them just have a bad reputation or bad name with the Lord. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's probably my number one. And number two, just how friendly the people were. Now, I live in Essex near London, so down south in the UK. And I was literally speaking to this with my trainer yesterday. He went up north and he goes, the further up north in the UK you get, the nicer the people are and the more happy they are to talk to you. I don't know why that is, but it just is. So yeah, I'd say safety and just the general niceness of people, to be honest. Put these back on, hang on. That's better.
Yeah. That's better.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's proper sunny out here. Look.
Yeah.
It's gotten there. It's gotten there.
Yeah. It's nice, nice weather out there.
Oh, I can't complain, mate. Can't complain.
So, what do you think about the courses, about the real world course that the Andrew sells and the Kay sells? Have you been in one of them, or is it thoughts on?
Yeah, so I actually was a member for a little while, and to be fair, I was doing the lessons. I done some of the AI lessons. I done the business ones. I done one of the ones where the guy was talking about how to create social media content that's going to elevate you to that next level. And I'll be honest, there was some good stuff in there. Some really good stuff, some leaderboards, a community. And at that time I was doing the lessons and I was actually implementing the lessons into some of my content. And one of the lessons was you have to talk about something that's a bit controversial. Now, I had an incident, I can't remember how, this was ages ago. I was working in a club and some random girl, she must have been like mid-40s, like mid to early 40s. She's come up to me and just squeezed my arse, just grabbed it without consent. And to be honest with you, I didn't really care that much. I don't care, but I said to her just as like a comment, I was like, that's sexual assault, right? And she's like, shut up, like you're having a laugh. And I'm thinking like, well, if this was the other way around and I grabbed your ass, you'd be screaming sexual assault. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go around and go, I just got sexually assaulted, she's grabbed my ass. Because the matter of the fact is, I'm not really that fussed. And I think people misinterpreted this in my video, that they thought I was really offended at this woman grabbing my ass. Because the truth of the matter is, I couldn't give a fuck about her grabbing my ass. The fact of the matter is, it's the double standard that annoyed me, that she can just go around, grab my ass and have no repercussions. But if it was the other way around, I'd probably be getting a slap or getting a case or getting like arrested or something like that. So I think people misinterpreted my video as that I was offended that she grabbed my ass, and people were telling me I need to man up. But I never complained about the ass grabbing at all once. It was more just the double standard. And the fact that when I told my friends, they all just laughed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was.
Yeah, I get it. Like I get what you're saying. So it's almost like ladies have the freedom to do anything without any repercussions.
Yeah.
But if a man does it, it's like you get called names, you probably get some sort of lawsuit or something.
Yeah.
Even in marriage, like if a girl cheats, she has like hundreds of things that she can, right? She can really cover it up, sugarcoat it. I was feeling this way, I was feeling that way. But when a man does it, it's different.
Yeah, and to be fair, mate, the comments, especially on my Instagram, the comments absolutely booted off. Now, there was a few good points in there. They said, "Oh, but a man isn't going to be physically threatened by a woman and be in trouble, and like there's not that physical aspect because you could probably beat her up." I was like, "Yeah, I could. That's not the point." I was like, "All right, what if it was Amanda Nunes that come and grab my ass? She'd kick the fucking shit out of me. She's she was the UFC champion, the best woman to ever do it. Now, don't get me wrong, I still do train. Like I train MMA myself, but am I going to be able to beat a women's world champion that's been doing it all of her life? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I'm not the biggest guy. If I was like 6'4" in training, then yeah, maybe my power and strength and the fact that I train would help. But I think she's a similar height to me. I'm not sure. Maybe she's a little bit shorter. I'm not sure. But she's also got the skills on top of that to just kick the shit out of me. Like, I'll be honest. So, like, why is that any different to having just a normal female there? Yeah, I get the physical aspect. Yeah, but I'm not arguing about the physical aspect. I'm arguing about.
Oops. Exactly, man. That's what they're saying. That's double standards, and men has to live through this. Double standards. It's so difficult for men who don't have money. I don't know power, no nothing. So it's sad that this happens to a guy in the UK as well, who is such a good, talented guy. Oh, this is back in. Okay, yeah. Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, mate. My friend called me. I hung up, but it
Oh,
just disconnected. It just disconnected. I've texted him, so we're all good.
okay. So I was just explaining to the people, like, even a guy who's smart, who's doing on path to do things, is getting all these things. So I'm like, imagine a guy who has no money and who gets shit on for
Yeah.
not being a man or something like that, and
Yeah,
getting all
yeah.
the double standards, the emotional pain that he has to go through.
Yeah.
There's so much mental thing that he has to go through.
Yeah.
So
No. Well, people. I saw a quote the other day, and it's like they want men and women to be equal, but men and women aren't equal. They're different. I'm not saying they're not as equally important because they are. Because without women, we physically can't live. Like we can't give birth. We can't reproduce without women, and they have a very important role within society. But men and women's roles, for me personally, are different, very different, and they're both as equally important as each other. So it's like yin and yang. You're not one without the other.
yeah, exactly. So whenever I ask a man, like, they always say like, hey, women are equally important too. But like more majority of women, when you ask like, are men important? They say like, no, we don't need men. What's going on? It
Yeah,
just shows the delusion, the amount of
yeah,
delusion in there. So I'm just concentrating on making my thing, making my content out there, making money out there. So
yeah,
that's all I want to do. I don't even think about all the stuff right now.
yeah,
Just get out of all this and
yeah,
train and be good.
no. Yeah, well, my mindset behind it is treat everyone with respect and treat everyone equally until they've given you a moment of disrespect or a moment of where you shouldn't treat them as equals. Like, I don't know, they've been a bit snaky, or like, I don't really try to associate my time with people that don't either bring me joy, bring me peace, or just something positive within my life. Like, I've had friends in my life, and I'm sure you might have as well, that I've known them since school, and they're lovely people, but they're not the best influence. They want to go to the club and get drunk and take this and take that, and they want to go and do all these naughty things, and that's like, don't get me wrong, I like to go out and have fun every now and then, but in general, like now, I'm just focusing on me, training, earning money, and eventually, after this break, getting back into my content and possibly doing more events. Who knows?
Yeah, sure. All the best for that.
Cheers, mate. You
And
too. I wish you the best as well.
yeah, so like, is there any time where you have been like on the lowest of lows and very in a dark place, and then you have to not only just like, dark place doesn't just mean like having substance abuse and everything,
Yeah,
but just like, you felt like
yeah,
absolutely helpless, and then how did you
yeah.
come through it?
Yeah, no, so I'm gonna go back to uni. So in my second year at uni, as we discussed, obviously I was going out and drinking and doing all the rest and just not in a good place. And I remember there was one. So I did physical education at uni, PE, and I remember I come back from one lecture and I was really underprepared because I hadn't been concentrating in my classes. I hadn't really been going to a lot of my classes or doing the revision. And I got there and I was like, oh shit, everyone knows what they're doing except for me. And I had like a really bad session. And I just remember, mate, coming back to my uni house, getting on the phone to my mum and just crying, just absolutely balls out cry. And that's not like me at all. I don't really cry at a lot of things, but I was having not a midlife crisis because I was only like 19, 20. Do you know what I mean? But I was having that sort of, oh, do I even belong here? Like, was coming to uni a big mistake? Like, my mum was on the phone. She's like, oh, you can come back here and get a job if you want. And I was like, no, I'm going to stick through it. And I remember after that day, my character just sort of changed. It's like, okay, you need to actually start taking yourself a bit more seriously now and actually start training and doing your work and not drinking as much and eating a bit healthier and just generally being a better person. Like I said earlier, that failing of that second year gave me the up the backside to just sort myself out and just stop acting like a child, really. Because I mean, when you go to uni, I believe you're still a child. I know you're 18 and you're legally an adult, but you've just come out of college or sixth form or whatever you've done, apprenticeship, whatever, and you've still got that child's mindset, especially for men, because we mature less quicker than women.
Okay, yeah, sure. So like,
Yeah,
like after you watched Andrew Tate, the
yeah,
the the content that he puts, so like,
yeah.
has it positively impacted your life, or has it like done anything to you?
Yeah, no, 100% it's impacted me positively. So both of my brothers are really into MMA and they was trying to get me into it for ages and I was like, no, I'm all right. I don't go out and fight. Like I'm good. I don't need it. And then I watched Andrew Tate's videos and because he's at that level where I want to be, like just famous, successful, like he's four-time kickboxing world champion and he spoke a lot of facts. He's like, I'd rather have friends that are down to fight as opposed to people that are just going to try and break it up. Like now, not that I go out and ever start fights. Like that's the last thing I ever want to do. But if I go out now and someone hits one of my boys, I'm slumping that fella. And then we're going to find out later, my guy could be completely in the wrong, but you don't fuck with me or my mates. Like even if we lose, I'm still going to try and back it and try not to get my friend hurt. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say in that regards, getting on the training, yes. And just to be honest with you, he was spitting a lot of facts of stuff that I already knew, but I never really thought about in depth, like just about hard work, getting yourself out there, just being the best version, stoicism, not reacting with emotions, reacting with logic, and just general things about like there's a lot of people don't like what they say about women and men relationships. And to be honest with you, there is a lot of it, what they say, I'm like, I kind of get what you're saying, but I don't completely agree with what you just said. But then there's aspects of what you said that I totally agree with. So yeah, just my relationship building, exercising, taking my fitness and business more seriously, and just trying to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, so your
Yeah.
brothers are wanted to be a professional MMA guys, or like just for like recreational purposes, or
So I've got two brothers. So the middle one, he doesn't live at home. He lives like southwest London somewhere. And his job, he'll do like kids classes, or he'll do one-to-ones on the pads, and like he trains on top of working. So his whole life is either training or training someone else. So the middle one, he's not looking. I did speak to him about this a few months back. I was like, "Do you reckon you'll ever go professional?" He's like, "It's not like I'm looking to join the UFC or PFL or anything like that." He goes, "I would like to have a professional fight at some point in my life, but that's not what my focus is." To be honest, his focus is on just enjoying his time, earning money, and if he gets to that level, he gets there, and if not, then no worries. The youngest one, to be honest with you, I'm not entirely too sure. I think he is kind of looking for that, but at the same time, I'm not. He doesn't really give too much away with his dreams and aspirations, which I do actually respect, because I saw a quote a few months back, maybe a year back or whatever. It's like, don't tell people your dreams, just show them the results.
yeah, true. Yeah. You
Yeah,
get a sort of power doing that. You
yeah,
get a sort of like sense of like you're on a mission or something when you do
mm,
that.
yeah, 100%. He's actually out in Thailand now, training in a Bang Tao Muay Thai
Ah,
and MMA.
oh wow, yeah, nice, nice.
Yeah,
So like it's like you told me your older brother like saying that sorry, your brother like enjoying the training, and that's a very dangerous
yeah,
fighter, honestly.
yeah,
In my honest
mm,
opinion, that's a fighter who is like happy and like
yeah,
enjoys training. It's the most dangerous fighter, like because he's so
yeah,
focused on like the techniques and the
mm,
when to hit, like what sort of punches or what sort of kicks. You're
mm,
fully concentrated on that. So
yeah,
when you have lots of things going around yourself, like, and you're not
mm,
being able to concentrate on the fight,
mm,
even though he's a high skill fighter, he's like probably like less dangerous because it's not focused
mm,
enough.
yeah,
That's what I think. Like when you enjoy those things,
mm,
like it's a very
mm,
dangerous fighter, and it's a very
yeah,
great person because
yeah.
he's like
I,
he's in the yeah. Please.
no, I was gonna say I totally agree. However, sometimes, like Andrew Tate said this himself, like sometimes you have to go to the gym and train even when you don't feel like training.
Yeah.
And even though my brother absolutely loves it, there are days where he's like, "Oh, I've got to get up and do a wrestling class on a Monday morning for 2 hours. Like, it's a bit long, and I can't really be bothered. It's Monday morning. I'd rather just sit in bed and chill and eat some food." But then he's up there every Monday training, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just doing some sort of training. So I've got a lot of respect for him. I mean, my brother, I had respect for him anyways, but I've got a lot of respect for him. He does work hard, and he's networked himself into such a random niche that he's built his portfolio and his business, and he's able to do it full time with no prior experience, just all showing your face, being there consistently, networking. Like, because he lives there now, but beforehand, mate, he'd have to get up in the morning, drive like 2 hours. He'd have to spend the whole day up there, because but now if he gets like an hour free during the day, he'll go home and make some food and do whatever. Whereas before he didn't have that luxury. He couldn't just come back here and go back. So I remember I was living in the same house as him. And for 2 weeks, bro, for 2 weeks, I didn't see him, because I'd be leaving earlier than him, or he'd be leaving earlier than me, and I'd be getting back and sleeping, and or vice versa. So yeah, for 2 weeks we lived in the same house, and I didn't even see him because he was working and I was working, and oh, it was mad. Like I got to respect the hustle. I really, really do.
Yeah, that's some hustle there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. That's a great thing. So like
yeah.
yeah.
It's like 4 hours a day of commuting.
Yeah, and still
That's a,
like
that's a,
you go. You have to.
and
It's not a like computer job. You just stay there. You have to
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
the get the rounds in
Oh,
there. You get the kicks in there.
oh, mate, imagine trying to change gear and you've taken a load of calf kicks that day. You're just, oh, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. But like I said, I respect it. I do really respect it.
Yeah. So it's like for mine, it's just a mindset like you just have to show up in the gym. Once I show up in
Mm,
the gym, I just like submit myself to the coach,
mm,
and tell
mm.
whatever it does. So it's
Yeah,
like my mind is free at that time when I train. So it's like
yeah.
it's so energizing in there.
Mm,
So, but yeah, at times we when I don't want and I'm not motivated to do that, I just wake up and I just be there. I just like
yeah.
to get to the gym. That's
Mm,
the hardest step in there. So
100%.
that's
Well,
great.
that literally happened to me yesterday, bro. I was really not up for training yesterday. Like I was just feeling a bit tired. I played football the day before, so my legs were all stiff, and I was like, "Oh, can I be bothered to go?" I ended up going, obviously, and I actually really enjoyed the session once I was there.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
So like you're talking about football, like which
Yeah.
is your favorite team in the
I'm an
Premier
art.
League?
Well, in the Premier League, it's Arsenal, so we're doing okay. I'm not. Do you know what it is, mate? I love playing football, and like I used to coach football as well, and I do really enjoy it. But few things. One, I haven't really got the time to sit down and watch a 90-minute game every single weekend. That's just a bit long, and sometimes they can be a bit boring. And two, like I'm not a massive football fan in regards to actually watching the whole game. Like I'll watch match of the day sometimes, or I'll watch the highlights on YouTube, or if it's like a big game, I might get some friends round and I'll have it on in the background and just sort of relax and chill. But like for me to watch a 90-minute game, it's got to be like a quite
Banger.
important. Yeah, it's got to be like a Champions League or an Arsenal Tottenham, a rivalry, something like that. But like my football knowledge is still pretty good. Like I still keep up to date with transfers and like who's scoring and assisting, who's playing well. But like, oh, I just can't be bothered sometimes to watch a full 90-minute game. It's just a bit long.
Yeah, because of the work that you're in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, are you into crypto trading or something like that? Are you into crypto trading? Yeah.
Mate, I started a little bit, but to be honest with you, I'm not really massively into it now. Like I don't really understand it, to be honest. And like I said, at the moment, I'm just trying to get. I'm gonna put my glasses back on. Sorry, it's sunny
Yeah.
again. Like I said, I'm just trying to get ahead of myself money wise at the moment, and I've been doing okay. I'm saving for South America next year with me, my brothers, and a few others. Just want to go see like Colombia, Argentina, Peru, wherever. Like that's my next trip plan. I'm just trying to save for that. I know I'm probably going to bring me I don't know, like my little microphone and like I film everything off my phone at the minute because I don't need an expensive camera. Like my phone's got a good enough quality that I can use that. But yeah, I'm probably just going to do stuff like that. To be fair, mate, just try and get myself out there a bit more. Really,
No, yeah. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
We hope you enjoy the trip. And
yeah.
all in all, last, like, do you have any final messages for our like viewers who's will be watching or who is watching in here?
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say just a lot of people nowadays are, oh, like I'm so depressed, I'm so miserable. I'm like, bro, you live in a first world country where you've got a running shower, running toilet, running taps, food, a shelter, an actual bed. You've probably got your parents, you might have siblings, you've got friends. Like, you just have to be grateful for everything you've got. And don't get me wrong, I've been guilty in the past of being a bit down in the dumps and being ungrateful for what I've got. But since living in the present moment, since listening to the Tate brothers, because they preach this as well, just be grateful for everything you have. literally, like even just this bottle of water, like I'm grateful for that. I'm sitting down in a chair right now. I'm grateful for that. I'm wearing sunglasses to block my eyes from the sun. I'm grateful for that. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
I feel like a lot of people get too much sort of, I want to say, privilege nowadays, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, just be grateful for what you've got. Work hard. Treat everyone with respect, and just don't badmouth others. Just be a good person. Really, that would be my message. Just be a good person. To be honest, have good morals.
Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, thank you so much for that message. And you're a very great person yourself.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you're,
You too, my friend. You too.
thank you so much for coming in and making my day wonderful. So with the energy that you have, so I hope you have like a great event, like
Thank
biggest
you.
events, like you like host them. And
Yeah.
yeah, all the best, brother. Just
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And also, one last thing: if you're like a bit overweight or a bit concerned about losing weight, join martial arts. Join some sort of. It can be jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, karate, taekwondo, anything that's going to get you a sweat on. You're going to be able to protect yourself. And people think you go to these gyms, sorry, and the people there are going to try and absolutely knock you out and be dicks. In my experience, it's the complete opposite. You're sparring lighter because everything's more controlled. People are there to help you learn. The social aspect is amazing, and people are really nice. So yeah, that's another thing I would say. Just get yourself out there, get down the gym, and just start training.
wow, yeah. Thank you for another golden nugget while you're on
I
your way
try.
out. So
I try, brother. I try.
that's really nice advice, because
Yeah,
usually when you think martial arts, even my father thought that, oh, you're gonna get your head turned out 180 degrees to the back, and it's not
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like. But when I
Mm,
joined, it's like they teach like you step by step, and they don't
yeah,
actually hurt you. We actually spar very light until the competition comes in.
yeah, of
So
course.
that's
Cool.
a
Well,
great golden nugget. Yeah,
mm,
please, yeah.
I think it shows your mindset because you don't really know what you're going to do until you get punched in the face. So, like a lot of people, they'll get punched in the face and sort of quiver down like this and just
Yeah,
sort of hold their hands up. Like, no, you got to get punched in the face and try and strike back, or try and get out and strike back, or just try and block, defend, get out and get to space and start again. So, I think everyone should be punched in the face at least once in their life. Not hard, but just so they know what it's like and how mentally they're going to react.
yeah.
And out of interest, by the way, what is it that you train? Because I know you mentioned earlier that you do
Oh,
martial arts.
yeah. I started from judo, then I went to wrestling, and then I
Nice.
went to Muay Thai. So yeah, the first time I got hit on my like I got a straight punch, that was so painful
Mm.
because when you press someone in the nose, I was like, oh, that
Yeah.
hurts.
Oh, mate, it's horrible. I got dropped for the first time. I was sparring, and he's hit me with a hand. He was wearing boxing gloves just here, and I had to go like this. I had to go. Yeah, let me take a knee for a second because the wind just went. You know how it is. It just
Yeah,
completely went out of me. And don't did I enjoy it? Not really. I don't really enjoy getting the wind taken at me by a punch. But did I enjoy it in another way, like a mindset way? I can't, in a sick, twisted kind of way. I did enjoy it a little bit because I'm just testing myself.
yeah. So have you ever
Uh,
gotten like one of those low kicks on your
oh,
calves?
yeah, yeah. Fuck. Well, I was talking to my mate about this the other day. I was like, bro, I could punch you in the face and don't get me wrong, it would hurt. I was like, but if I kick you in the calf, you're really going to feel that. And
Yeah,
he was like, because he hasn't trained. He's like, no, no, if you punch you in the face more, it's going to hurt. I was like, bro, because firstly, if I punch you in the face, you're going to be trying to defend it, and I might not connect completely clean. I might hit you like here on the forehead, or like if I hit you on the bang on the chin with these two knuckles, then yeah, that's going to bloody potentially knock you out. But I don't have to connect perfectly with that calf kick because there's fuck all muscle there. That's the one that's going to give you limps.
yeah, and it's gonna like
Yeah.
fuck you up for like we some sort of like days.
Oh, 100%, Mo. 100%. 100%.
just with a small leg kick there. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was really fun talking to you. So awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming in. And yeah, all the best for your future.
No, thank you for having me, mate. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, my friend. Gosh. Oh, are we off?
Yeah. So that was Mr. Inbound, my friends. It was really awesome talking to him. So you learned about event hosting with him and some sort of life skills or life advice, life motivation as well. So thank you. Let's sign out.